Now, Egypt's central bank has devalued the pound and said it would move to a more flexible exchange rate policy to ease foreign exchange shortages. Now, the Egyptian currency will now trade at 8.85 to the dollar, down from about a previous 7.73. The central bank have also pumped nearly $200 million into the dollar-starved banking system in a surprise sale. Now, with tens of millions living in poverty, the central bank had been reluctant to devalue for fear of sparking inflation. Economists said the move would encourage foreign investment in Egyptian stocks and treasuries, which of course have seen an exodus of foreign money in recent years.
This is a very good decision, which provided protection against those who are hurting the economy. This decision will effectively close down the black market in dollars. Traders are now selling their dollars because their profits have now diminished. The black market is losing.
This is wrong. It will make our lives even harder when the Egyptian pound weakens like this. The living will be more expensive, prices will increase, and we will suffer more than we already do.
Now let's get more on the government's devaluation of the pound. We're joined now by Yasser Hakim in Cairo. Yasser, welcome to the show. Now, of course, Egypt's government has finally given in to the pressure to devalue. What is the government saying about handling the rise in inflation that, of course, this will bring, of course, the possibility of devaluing the currency further?
Well, Uche, the government is saying that at this point it's making the pound closer to its real value, hoping that it will not devalue further. But at this point, it's also taking other steps to ensure that this does not affect the poor, especially with inflationary prices expected, because Egypt's 80% of its basic needs are imported. So it means dollars, higher dollars means higher prices. So the government is increasing its supply of subsidized food and products, main essential products in the market at huge numbers, at huge quantities, to balance the prices in the market, obviously expecting that the private sector will increase its prices from the imported goods. So it's using down the subsidized goods in the market. At the same time, it's kind of creating some kind of catalyst for attracting demand for Egyptian pounds by issuing certificates at really high interest rates, reaching 15% interest rates. If you have dollars in your bank account and you're ready to give it in those dollars in return for Egyptian pounds, so you'll be given an interest rate of 15% on 1 or 3 year certificates. The normal rate is 10%, so it's trying to attract Egyptians to use Egyptian pounds rather than dollars and give away the dollars they have, so to provide more supply of dollars in the market. So there is a connected web of decisions and working together to try to stabilize the Egyptian pound as it is.
Now, yes, and some experts actually say following this decision, we'll probably see a significant hike in rates, of course, at the MPC meeting, which will happen this week. Now, what is the consensus so far?
Yes, the consensus is to increase the rates. Consensus is to create issues, bonds and certificates that will be helpful in making the Egyptian pound more into the market, and try to also attract the ones who have dollars to put it into their banks with certificates. So the dollars, for example, is like 1%, even 0% around the world in many countries. In Egypt, if you have dollars and you want to put it into the bank as a certificate for 3 years or 5 years, you get 5.5%. So it's quite attractive there. They've issued certificates for Egyptians living abroad so that they can send their dollars into Egypt's banks and their remittances back into the economy instead of pushing the dollars outside. In addition to the cap that has been released on dollar withdrawals and dollar transactions in the banks, this has been released completely, no limits. So it's a way to attract the investments in dollars and revenues as well.
Well, thank you, Yasser. We'll certainly be watching that MPC meeting. Yasser Hakim in Cairo.